Welcome to ISIC and welcome to the Bridge Talks. So today we have with us Roberto Leimig. Roberto Leimig, he's a very veteran at conscientiology and at conscientiology, and he's gonna discuss about the evolution of the consciousness. First of all, I'm gonna introduce a little bit Roberto. Roberto is from Recife, from Brazil. He has a degree in biological sciences and a master's degree in ecology. He's a volunteer at conscientiology since 1993, teacher since 1996, and the actual coordinator of CEAEC. He's also the author of Natural Lives, and he's also co-author of Parapsychic Competencies. So, Roberto, be very welcome.
Hi, Anna. Hi, everyone. I'm so pleased to stay here with you to discuss one of the most interesting subjects that I consider in the research of conscientiology, the evolution of conscientiology, the evolution of consciousness. So be free, and I hope to discuss with you during this time.
Great. Okay, so, Roberto, what can you tell us about the evolution of consciousness? Okay, have a great talk.
Thank you, and thank you for all the team of ISIC for this opportunity to discuss just with as I had said, one of the most interesting and challenging theme of the self-research. So, but first of all, it's important to show you the principle of this belief. It's one of the principle of evolution also, because we have an object of study that seems uh, quite abstract, quite transcendental, too much transcendental for this dimension. So here it's very important you do not believe at anything, even though you are present here, you may accord or discord of this, but pay attention, be critic. So look for have your own experience. Okay, let's go. What is evolution? What does evolution means? So the next one, the evolution is the main aspect of the nature. So we used to call the evolution, uh, it's called in science in general, an axiom. Why an axiom? Because it's widespread worldwide or in the cosmos in general. So evolution is the part of the reality. You can avoid evolution. So evolution means the tendency of change or transformation of natural elements in the cosmos, in the universe. So I'm sorry if you feel don't feel good with the always the tendency of change of everything. It's I'm sorry, but you can't stop evolution. Evolution is real, it's part of reality. You can't avoid it. So go on, please. Let's check here in this image of the universe that show us that evolution has occurred since the beginning of the universe. So if you consider the universe with almost 14 billions of years, you can imagine this 14 billions of years, too much time. But since that, the all of the elements. Which the elements? We talk about this example of the physical universe, but but we have, you just know that the conscience or the consciousness is has an extra physical origin. So it's much more complex. If you only think about the physical universe, it's really complex. But if you add extra physical approach, it's more and more complex. But think about this: all of things in the universe, the multidimensional universe, you have evolution as a constant. So it's part of reality in this dimension or another dimensions. Okay, so the development of planets, solar systems, living beings, all the elements is suffer pressure of evolution to evolve. So we can go on, please. Yeah. So what does the evolution consist? So we have lots of evidence that evolution is perpetual, is constant. So go on, please. One more. Yeah. Even there is a variation in the frequency and the change. We can, for example, we have sometimes quick change, and sometimes it's very slowly. But the fact is, the change never stop totally. Okay, there is a good example during the evolution of the human being. Let's see the next one, please. I think that you have heard about the Stone Age of the human beings. In this, we had, for example, the two phases: the phase of the shipped stone and the polished stone. If you take this moment of the human evolution, you see that the change from shipped stone to polished stone takes over than 2 millions of years. So think about just to perceive, to observe that if you can polish a stone, a piece of stone, it's much better than just break the stone and make tools to survive, to hunt, to construct buildings, you know, halls. So it's very amazing to think about these 2 millions, more than 2 millions of years to change our way of thinking. This the reality of the human being. But the evolutions occurs. Here we are now. Nowadays we have lots of tools. We have high level of technology. So this is why I'm saying that evolution is really amazing. It's a real challenge for us to understand. Okay, the next one, please. Yeah. So when we are talking about this, the universality of evolution, it's called also an postulate, a scientific postulate, because everywhere you look at in the universe, you look for something different at different places, you identify a mechanism or process of the evolution. So you can really, we real cannot avoid evolution. That's the fact. Okay, the next, please. The next one slide, please. Yeah. So this is may not appear. That's okay. Oh, please. let's go on. So one of the basic law of evolution is called irreversibility. Irreversibility shows us that when you reach some level of evolution, we can get back. We can you can change for a level before. So irreversibility is one of the most interesting law of evolution. So even though you can decide, you can decide, yeah, not I'm happy, I don't want to evolve more anymore. But the fact is, everything around you, your friends, relatives, parents, colleagues of profession, social work, you know, your social uh, connections, everything will change, we will evolve. So we will stop and observe them evolve. There is sometimes you have to face evolution around us. That's why I'm saying that evolution, we can avoid evolution. There is no way to escape of of it. Okay, that's okay. This message is okay. Let's go. The next one, I want to show you some evidences of this. Another interesting evidence that all of these things of the universe, the molecules, atoms, living beings, everything is changing. But there is one example, it's very interesting and can make us think deeply about the mechanism of evolution. Is the origin of the universe. There is an element called hydrogen. This element is very simple, the most simple element, chemical element of the cosmos. But when when the universe begins, the hydrogen was one of the element present in this beginning. In the Big Bang, you have hydrogen and other few elements. And the hydrogen is present in basically in all universe. So the elements, the living beings, reaction, lots of reactions, including the process, the transformation, and the origin of the other elements of the chemical table, for example. Let's see the next one, please. See here the next image, please. Yes. Yeah, the next one. Yeah, this one. So here you can see in stars like the sun, we have the constant reactions of the hydrogen transformed in helium. So and liberate lots of energy, and this will has a sequence of reaction that produce the other elements. This is occur uh, in the universe as a whole. So think about this. An element which present in the universe, basically omnipresent in all universe. So I'm not just talking about chemical element, but the information. Each element of nature has information. The living being has information, has memory. This element, hydrogen, has the memory of universe, for example, the origin of the universe. So it's present in the other element that the consciousness has used to evolve. We are here in the body of monkey. We are human, but the consciousness used this body to evolve, to apprehend, to be, to research, to study, to understand the universe or the context around us. So it's a challenge to understand how is it function. So pay attention to this example. Let's see the other one, please. Think about this element, this molecule, the water. Think about the importance of water, how it's need for life, for everything, for ecosystems. So the water is one of the most important elements for proportional evolution of the others. So think these are connections between, there is a connection between uh, hydrogen and oxygen. But look at this angle is very specific, is very singular. This configuration, this arrangement of the two atoms of the hydrogen and one of oxygen, there is a configuration, there is an information, an intelligence in this configuration that promote the quality, a lot of quality of water. Let's see the next one, please. The, yeah, one before, one before. Yes, yes. So water has lots of functions for life, for industry, for social life, for individuals. So think about this, the an element constructed in the universe that is very important for all of forms and diversity of life, you know. Very too much consciousness has used bodies to evolve, and this element has helped the formation, the origin of forms of life. So the next one, you must think that I'm very passionate for hydrogen, but not so, not only for hydrogen, but this arrangement, this interaction of elements, of natural elements that can promote the evolution of the others, of the many, since the bacteria is a consciential principle, and for us, in the level of human being. So, see the example of salt. Salt is very common. We have sodium and chlorine. Each one has singular properties, but when you put them together, you have a lot of properties that is very uncommon. It's not connected with individuals specifically, but the reaction between them. So this is called the principle of emergence. The principle of emergence is one quality of evolution that can promote synergy, a higher level of synergy that can develop different functions, different applications. So it's very important all of these connections among the elements. Okay, let's go. Just to give you an idea, the complexity and the interactions of transformations in the universe. That's why I'm giving you this example of the elements, the single elements. Okay, the next one. So we have other kind of law important to evolution that's called gravitation. And according to Dr. Waldo Vieira, this law, this gravitation is directly connected with free consciousness, or the high level that we know nowadays. So the gravitation has offer support of, for all the elements of the universe can transform, can change, can make a balance among them. So one of the most interesting law, and also it's omnipresent, it's ubiquitous, it occurs along the all the universe, along all the cosmos. So each element of cosmos has suffer influence of gravitation. Okay, let's see the next, please. So here, the next one, please. Yeah, I comment of, yeah, yes. Let's go ahead. And the next one, please. Yeah, it's the about the gravitation, it's omnipresent. I had said to you. The next one, yeah, good. So here we have presentation about the symbol of evolution, the spiral. This is show us that the change is present along the time, over the time. So we have different moments, different periods, and any period is different, even though there is cycles. So spiral show us that there is cycles during evolution, but no one is too similar or identical to another. Each one is different. So, for example, another thing, and all the elements is changing, constantly changing. For example, most of the species or biological species, majority has extinct. 99% of all the species has now extinct. Only 1% is the actual living beings. So think about that. Because why the 99% was extinct? Because they couldn't adapt to the change over the time. So they become extinct. It's very natural. If you can follow the evolution, you can adapt, and you can go on. But it's not so easy always go on with the flux of the evolution. Okay, the next one, please. So just to have an idea of the diversifications of the, the living thing, the living beings. So we have here, look at the animals. On the right down here, animal, it's only a few, a few, a few aspects of the whole forms of life. So the plants also only a few aspects of the whole forms of life. And look at this. We have bacteria. The bacteria, we have in this planet lots of bacteria. We depend on bacteria to survive. If we eliminate all the forms of bacteria, in a few moments we will die. So it's very important these connections, this interdependence. Okay, the next one. So what you have to think about also. From the moment that life arose, transformations and change will occur constantly. So since the bacteria until now, we have long period of transformations in forms and opportunities to learn of how evolution functions. Okay, for example, the metabolism, the way of nutrition, the metabolism of a bacteria is more complex than our metabolism. Our metabolism is simpler than the bacteria. So there is a very way of evolution that you can understand totally, but you can observe and get ideas to try to comprehend, to take a comprehension better about this. So go on, the next one. The next, please. Yeah, I have comment. Yeah, okay. The complexity. The next one, please. Yeah. So we have a bit more evidence for evolution. For example, we have continuity between primates and human. As I had said to you, we are monkey. We are consciousness, extraphysical consciousness, but we are using a body of monkey. There is a fact. The constants of human transformation. If you look around you, you will see transformations over the time, always. Look at this moment. We have a very stressed period of social relationship in functions or in order the problem of pandemic, the constant change in our routines, the forecast of climate, the weather, the quality of research, natural research, water, everything is changed around us. Look at the example of the economy. The stock exchange always goes down, goes up, goes down, because it's difficult linear balance. So there is no linear balance all time. It's quite impossible. Okay, here let's go on. As I had said, the similarity of us and the primates. Please look at this. Yeah, now look at this. As I had said, the similarity of us and the primates. You have lots of similarities, a few difference. We have more similarity than difference. Look at this, the levels of similarity. A few muscles, a few bones. If we look at this, the hand of the gorilla, you see that is very similar to our hand. Let's go. The next one. You know about the other law, the law of CEAEC. We always changing in life. Each life is a challenge. We have new context, new zeitgeist. You have to adapt it for the new conditions. So if you're not paying attention how does evolution function, we just repeat life to another life. So another thing important that we just have just possible past by the different contexts and different gender, for example, woman, man, so different function, religious, military. So it's a real challenge us to understand how how this each one has contributed to our actual personality. Okay, the next one, please. So I try to show you some example of the laws, some laws and principles of the evolution, just to give you an idea. So I talk about continuity, is the evolution is constant. Affinity, it's very important. You have, for example, positive affinity and negative affinity. If you, for example, deny your relation with religion too much, if you emphasize that you there is no connection with religious people, pay attention. Maybe a negative affinity. Okay, so you have uh, you have to consider different aspects in the evolution because probably we pass by all of the different groups of social groups in order to study, to learn how to deal with the differences, for example. We also have the cycles, I comment, the cycles, interactivity. We can't evolve alone. You have to interact with one to another. You have also the principle of identity. What is identity? What is your singularity? Singularity is one of the most important principle because what you have different from the others. We are not robot, so each one has a singularity. So if you don't study the principle of identity, you may be acting as a robot. So it's very important the self-awareness. So the other one, the principle of coevolution. My evolution has affect your evolution. This is coevolution. In among animals and plants. So there is interconnections of the effects of one when one evolved uh, affected the other one. So that's very important if you made the chance, the opportunity to do an evolution, a conscient evolution, awareness of evolution. It's very important for us. Other principle very important, diversity, as I have comment. To how do you use to deal with the diversity? You use to travel to deal with different cultures, different animals, plants, people in general, different environments. How do you deal with diversity? Universality, as I had said to you, you can avoid evolution. Wherever you are, you will face aspect of evolution. You can, it's part of reality. So what do you have to do? That's why I'm saying that it's very a strong challenge for us to understand how evolution functions. Self-organization is very, very important because depends on you. Everything depends on you, depends on your self-organization. If you want to evolve awareness, um, conscient, so depends on you to be organized and follow the process of evolution. So, but to do this, we have to study. Have to study and understand how does it function. Okay, adaptability, another important principle because if you can't blame for anyone. I'm sorry, you can't blame for anyone. So uh, everything depends on your behavior. So if you want to evolve or not evolve, depends on you. You can't blame the other one, the society, the family, because his responsibility is our, okay? Self-conscientiality, the principle of self-conscientiality is exactly this. If you want to evolve, to develop yourself by yourself, without blaming anyone or without depends on anyone exclusively, so depends on your effort to be organized and to follow principles and laws of evolution, to know them, to study them, understand, and, and, and follow and do the best things you can. Of course, pay your attention, call your attention, because you have different um, written different frequencies in the evolution. You have too much variables, uh, factors that influence the process of evolution. So let's go. The principle of timeless. The consciousness is timeless. There is no time for consciousness. Because why? Remember, if you can study and have a retrocognitions, the remembrance of past lives, perhaps you will recognize that some behaviors, some ideas, some interests that you have today, you also had it, for example, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. You have the same behavior, the same interest. So this is the study of the seriality can show you. Okay. I don't know, Anna, if we have any questions, but I try to show cosmovisions of the evolution until now. But if you had any question, please.
Yes, Roberto, we have a question here. Virginia Ruiz. She is asking if can you explain the hypothesis that at some point Pfizer helped human during the 16th century to evolve our brain. I mean, what can you say about that hypothesis that Professor Valdo Vieira talk about it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think just think about this when I talk the example of the Stone Age.
Yeah.
For example, it's very different way of thinking. If you stay more than 2 millions of years to change your way of thinking, it's it's quite it's almost incomprehensible for us. But for that level, it was natural. It was natural for them. So probably we start to rebirth here in this planet more recently. Probably, I suppose there is an event, important event along the human evolution called the acceleration period. It's about 50,000, yeah, 50,000 years ago,
50,000 years ago. Ah, yeah.
1,000 years ago, more or less, yeah. And there were lots of changes in behavior, tools, man, too much things can change in a short period of time. Probably,
Yeah.
I suppose, it should be an evidence that the start of our group here in this planet. Because after that, there was too much
What changes?
changing and evolution of, for example, domestications of animal, agriculture, so
Yes.
the origin of cities, too much things occurs after that. Okay, the
Yeah.
evolution of the talk with one to another, communications, verbal
Yeah.
communication.
So, thank you. There is another question here also about Virginia. She's saying, do you think the tendency is changing the gender in the high levels of the evolution scale, or is the opposite? We fit in one gender.
No, yeah, it's a
About
good
seriality,
question.
yes, she's
Yeah,
asking.
yeah. During seriality, it's a good question, but for our level today, it's probably that we used to use the both things. Or think about strategy of the fixed agenda during a period of time to learn as much as possible about that, and then change to another and do the same.
Yeah,
By the final of the conclusion of this period of evolution of the
yeah,
reality, so it's easy to take one or another, but I think it's a good strategy to fix one period with one gender and then fix another one, because
that,
changing, always changing, you know, it's
yeah.
not so intelligent to learn about that body.
Roberto, I'm thinking about determination and self-determination. I think this also plays a huge role. Sometimes some consciousness has a determination. They need a different kind of soma to learn things, and that's the determination or healthy heteronomy, I think it's called. And then as the consciousness gets more lucidity, I think she's able and she has self-determination to see with the others, with the evoluciologos, what she can be, yeah. What do you think about it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Usually, you has most common the determination is more common than the free choice. For example, the self determination. We are just our level of evolution, or the human being is the level where we start to train, we are beginning to to try to
To
choose,
do steps.
to do some choice, because it's most of the time we are wrong, but we are trying to do to manifestate the free choice.
Yeah,
But the trend tendency is the determinism. So until now, the lives of animals or people who are, just live without worry about the questions, you know, about evolution, just in the determinism. The determinations, just they can choose what the body, what we have to do during the evolution. So we are in the transition of the determination or the self determination. So that's
great.
our reality. Just
Yeah, good, great. So Roberto, if you wanna talk about some topics that are in your slide that you haven't already talking, just to finish and do your last considerations after, if you want to say something important that you didn't say, and then you can finish with your last considerations, okay, because we are almost like in the end of our talk, okay.
oh, thank you. It's about time. Yeah,
Yeah, so
beautiful.
do you want to show some specific slide or
I think no, that's okay. You have this all of these principles and laws we have discussed. We have in CEAEC the course Foundations of Evolutionology. So if anyone wants to go deep in any aspect of this, we can offer this course. It's available at the CEAEC store. So you know. I just want to call your attention in the sense of the importance to be aware that evolution can be avoided. Can You can stop evolution. You also may define yourself to give a break, to give, you know, to stop a little, a bit. But the fact is, evolution is constant, and you have to face it. And so the way that I choose to face it is to study and discuss, to publish, to change ideas. And so that's why I'm saying to you, let's study evolution and try to understand more and more.
Okay, Roberto. So thanks a lot. It was great. We learned about some very I see, biological and very specific things about evolution. It was very nice. And next bridge talk, we will have the presence of another bridge talk about cosmoethics. So we thank everybody for your participation in the bridge talk, and we are waiting for the next bridge talk. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Roberto. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Anna. See you.
See you. Bye.